are going to make some sugar cookies. Yay! So we're going to start with a cup of, actually I have 2 sticks of unsalted butter. Then we have a cup and 3/4 of flour right here. Yes. Then we have a cup of sugar, a 1/4 cup of, half teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of baking powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. My grandson is here. This is a teaspoon of vanilla, 1 egg, and then some sugar to roll it in. So these are ingredients. Now the utensils, I have a bowl, I have my whisk, my scoop, my little ice cream scooper, which will I'll scoop out for my cookies, my spatula. Yes, like Granny sees your horsey. And then I've got my cookie sheet covered with parchment paper. So we're going to start out by taking our butter out. And this is a really cool recipe because you don't have to use a mixer or anything like that. You just use your hand tools. So next we're going to take our cup of sugar and we're just going to incorporate this in. Just take your time and just mix it together. It's no rush. You know, you want to make sure things are nice and done with as little mess as possible. So we're just going to mix this up. Now the reason I'm using my spatula instead of my whisk right now is because it would get all clumped up in there and, you know, that would be another problem. So we're just gonna get all this mixed up. Now I got this recipe from Laura Vitale. Her YouTube channel is Laura in the Kitchen. And I've got another recipe. Actually, she's got a lot of good recipes. But I did a broccoli beef casserole recipe from her, and oh my gosh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. It was the first time I'd ever really cooked with ginger, so it was really nice. Okay, all right, so we got that creamed together. So see, that's all nice and creamed together there. So our next step is to add in our 1 egg. And then our 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're gonna mix this together. Now you wanna be really careful when you're doing this because you do not want to splatter the egg everywhere, okay? So just to give you an idea what that looks like. Okay? And we just wanna mix that together really well. I remember when I was a little kid, this is the way we mixed stuff together. Mom had she had mixers and all that. But my mother actually had to have carpal tunnel surgery because she did a lot of baking and cooking and stuff. And then because of the repetitive motion she did with both hands, she ended up having to have carpal tunnel surgery on both of her hands. And I thought that was really weird, considering that at that time I only knew carpal tunnel to affect those who, you know, worked on keyboards. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my salt, baking powder, and baking soda and incorporate it in here into my flour. Gonna give that just a little whisk here, just to kind of, you know, get it all together there. Okay. Now I'm gonna add this. Hey, baby. I'm gonna add this in. Oop, make a mess. Don't want to make a mess. As little mess as possible. Okay. So that's it. I'm just gonna incorporate this in here together. My oven is already preheated at 350 degrees. And I'm gonna switch up to my whisk. And this should make it a little easier to work with. This is a cool little spatula. What, honey? I think I got this, I don't know where we got this spatula, but this spatula is really cool. It has measurements on it. So you can see those measurements. It's a really cool little spoon there. Little spatula, yes. Okay, so we're just gonna mix this together like this. Hey, honey, what you doing? Hmm? Yeah, Granny's making some. Yes, Granny's making some cookies for sure. So now you do have to put a little muscle in this. I'm gonna get all this incorporated. See, it's coming together. It's coming together. But you wanna lift it like this so it won't be making all that noise on the counter here. But you gotta put a little muscle in there. Okay. All right. Now let's just take this off of here. Make that easy work to get this off. Just kind of run your spatula through there like that. Now you don't want to be difficult. I mean, be hard with getting it, you know, but you do want to get all of it out. Work it all out. Work it all out. Very good. Now, if you are new to baking and to cooking, I think the best advice you can get is to have all of your ingredients together. Have all of your ingredients right there, just like I did. So you can just add things to your recipe. And we're good. So this is what our dough looks like right now. Okay. So now we're going to put it on our cookie sheet. Alright. Alright, so let me get my cookie sheet over here. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this. Okay. Yeah. All right. So what we're going to do, we are going to use our scoop. And we want to scoop them. We want to make sure that they are the same size, as close to the same size as possible. So I'm just going to put this in my hand. I'm going to put it inside the sugar and just roll it in the sugar. Now what this is going to do is it's going to let it get a really nice crust. You can shape them however you want to. You don't have to put the sugar on it if you don't want to. That's up to you. Okay. I'm going to space these out pretty good ways here. Now these are going to spread out. They are definitely going to spread out. So keep that in mind when you're doing Okay, my grandson is pushing the chair up to the counter because he wants to be involved. So that is the noise you're hearing there. What are you doing, sweetheart? Granny's making some cookies. Make some cookies. Yay. And you can just do it like this too if you want. You don't have to roll it completely if you don't want to do that. I mean, these are like real homemade cookies. You know what I mean? They're not going to be pretty. What are you doing, sweetheart? Stop, 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 baby. Yeah, stop. Huh? Yeah.
Oh, over here.
Okay. So I'm gonna do that one that way. Then I'm just gonna flop it over and do it that way. And then do it that way. These cookies are gonna spread. They're going to spread. And I wanna give them enough room to spread to where they don't touch each other. So I'm going to put fewer on the cookie sheet than she did, because I noticed when she did hers that you know, there was, you know, they connected, so she had to like break them apart. So I don't want to have to do that. Yeah. All right. Okay, so this is the last one I'm going to put on this cookie sheet here. All right. Wash my hands real quick.
Finding the horse, then wash your hands.
Yeah, Granny had to wash her hands.
Then wash your hands and
Yeah.
the cookies.
Yeah. All right, so here are cookies, right? Those are cookies. Oops, they slid off the pan. Our cookies, and we're gonna put those in our oven, 350. Yeah. Okay, it's 350 degrees for 12 to 18 minutes. I'm gonna check them about the 12-minute mark, and then we'll come back and I'll let you see what it is when it's all said and done. Be right back. All right, so it's time to take the cookies out. Look at that. They're beautiful, beautiful. Okay, we'll let them sit there for a second, then I'll put them on a cooling rack. I told you they would spread out, didn't I? Look at that. And I just made just those two touch. Those two touched. So I have to put the next ones over just a little bit more. All right. I'll be back. All right, so these are that's the final, well, 6. I made a total of 13, 14. The recipe did say it would make 24, but my ice cream scooper was a little bit larger. So I got some much larger cookies, and they are absolutely wonderful. I like it. I mean, they're nice and they're thin. Oh, those are some other cookies going out there. Let me hit that real quick. Uh-oh, I want to do that. I just turned my daughter's cookies off. Don't tell her. Okay, but anyway, they're like the bottom cooked really nicely. They're nice and thin. They're crispy. They're lovely. I did good. So here is my little display of my sugar cookies. Now, because of the sugar that I rolled them in, that's what made them a lot crispier. And like I said, I do like the fact that they're thin and the center is soft. And these are the last 2 that I have. I'm not gonna roll those in the sugar, because if you do have an issue with sugar, you probably don't want to roll them in the sugar. So, all right, well, that is the sugar cookie making episode. Thanks for hanging out. I don't have a cookie jar, so I put the cookies in my cake container so they will stay moist throughout the next couple of days or so. I'm going to store some of these guys, see how long they'll keep. You know, I'm on my little experimental thing when it comes to food preservation. So I just thought I'd drop this in real quick before I say good night. Good night. Homemade beef and broccoli stir fry. Yes, I am going to enjoy.